So while I am a Titan main, I am not a sword main. But things have changed. That is thanks to the new strand waveframe sword from Act 1, Abyssal Edge. I love this sword so much that I ended up making a strand sword build not so long ago. I meant to post this video earlier, but with the full artifact now in our hands, I'm glad I waited unintentionally. So while we are in Act 3 and this is an Act 1 weapon, it certainly still deserves some spotlight. This video shouldn't be a long one, but before we jump into it, just want to say, if you guys enjoy the content and want more from me, be sure to hit that subscribe button and bell to be notified on when I do drop more content. With that out of the way, let's talk about Abyssal Edge. Now, if you are playing Heresy activity, specifically the Nether or Court of Blades, you are getting a ton of loot. I will probably specify that you're mainly getting a ton of loot in the Nether. One of those pieces of loot you may be getting is going to be this sword. So let's explain the frame. This, like I said before, is a wave sword frame, which in game says this: heavy attack deploys a shockwave uppercut and launches the user into the air. And immediately follow swing after that, uppercut deploys a homing strike that aggressively seeks a target. This is fun, and for me, one of the better swords in PvE. And with a ton of strand mods, since this is a strand sword, and with a ton of strand mods in the artifact, since this is a strand sword, it's going to be even better. Such mods like Unraveling Orbs, Horde Shuttle, and 2 Shreds are incredible, especially 2 Shreds, for when boosted can increase damage output from strand weapons to severed targets. There is a nice selection here to get creative, and that is what makes an already awesome sword even more awesome in this sandbox. So with that out of the way, let's read all the perks. Now here on screen is going to be all the perks for Abyssal Edge, and of course there are 2 versions of the base and adept versions with 2 origin traits. This is a sword. I will say this is one of the few times I would say you don't really need to chase the other King's Fall origin trait. It does have a charge rate buff to the sword itself, but Willing Vessel is incredible by itself, so I'm not going to really say you need to bend over backwards to get the double origin traits. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. Whenever God Roll you get here is going to be great. So over in column 4, we have 2 origin traits, Willing Vessel being the one we're going to talk about. Dealing damage or defeating targets with this weapon gradually grants increased stability, handling, reload speed, and charge rate. This effect gradually decreases over time, but is gained more quickly while near allies. I cannot understate it. I've reiterated this multiple times. I love this origin trait. It's one of the better ones we have seen from a seasonal update. Now over in column 4, we have Hatchling, Elemental Honing, and Guard, Sword Logic, Redirection, Surrounded, and Demolitionist. Next to that, in column 3, we have Energy Transfer, Slice, Tireless Blade, Relentless Strikes, Duelist Trance, Valiant Charge, and Flash Counter. And in column 3, for our guards or magazines, we have Balance Guard, Burst Guard, Enduring Guard, Heavy Guard, and Swordmaster's Guard. So with the God Roll, you're going to have 3 different options, I guess you could say, or 4 different options. You'll see when we talk about it. So the main God Roll for me, I guess you could say it's the easiest, it's the most straightforward. We have Tempered Edge, Balance Guard, Relentless Strikes, and Redirection. In column 3, a perk like Flash Counter is an extremely viable option and very much a part of the God Roll. Also in column 4, Surrounded is very viable and a more easy to use perk compared to Redirection, and I guess you could say we can give Hatchling an honorable mention. For the current sandbox, it's definitely an overkill, but with mods like Unraveling Orbs and Horde Shuttle that are eventually going to drop out of the sandbox, then Hatchling can get more juice outside of Heresy. So let's first break down Surrounded. Surrounded grants you a 35% buff to damage when you are surrounded by 3 or more enemies. This lingers for 1.5 seconds. If you are using this in a situation where someone in your fire team is using Wolfpack Ergo Sum, the Wolfpack rounds will also receive a 35% explosive damage increase. So while swords may not be in right now like they were when Salvation's Edge first dropped, this perk can serve as a big what if in future content if swords are once again needed for encounters or any other scenarios in the sandbox. The next perk, Redirection, is one of the best PvE perks in Destiny right now. If a weapon has this perk, give it a spin. That's just how it is right now. So damaging rank and file combatants grant 2 stacks of Redirection, maximum of 30 stacks. Stacks remain active while stowed. Hits against elite or higher ranked combatants consume up to 3 stacks to grant 33% increased damage per stack. The buffs made here in Heresy were unexpected, but a very welcome change for this perk. And yeah, like again, Redirection is a must-use perk if it's on any weapon. Just give it a spin. Really good stuff. Now for column 3, First up, we have Relentless Strikes. This perks read like this. This perk reads like this. Landing 3 light attack hits within a short time, grants ammo. Not much to say. This is basic and powerful and very easy to use. Now, for some reason, if you really want to spice this up, I'm sure you guys have seen a build or clip where you can clear a GM with just blocking. Yeah, I'm not joking. You can literally do that with just blocking. There's more, of course, to it, but Flash Counter is going to be part of that. Pair this with Storm's Keep and Stronghold, and you can do just that. So Flash Counter, if you don't know, reads like this. Blocking damage after raising your guard emits a short-range blast that disorients targets. This is an 8-meter emission and has a 2.25 second cooldown between activations. So as you see, this is powerful. Pair this with Stronghold, it is incredible. But yeah, in general, that's going to be the God Rolls. Depending on what you guys want or desire is going to be what you're going for. Flash Counter alone is a God Roll itself. But the other two or the other combinations or the other perks are very solid as well. Abyssal Edge, a massive success of a weapon, and arguably, in my opinion, one of the best in the Heretic arsenal, but that's just my opinion. So pretty much that's all I gotta say in this one. If you guys enjoy the content and want more from me, like I said before, be sure to hit that subscribe button and bell to be notified on when I do drop more content. Of course, if you enjoyed this video and found this video informative, be sure to drop this video a like, helps with the video a ton. And last but not least, if you want to share your thoughts on this sword down below, comment section, be sure to do that. We can have a conversation about it. Or if you have any questions, of course, drop a comment down below. But besides that, thank you guys for watching. It is greatly appreciated. ShadowNinja here, and I'm out.